The first few moments of your morning are sacred. They're more powerful than we give them credit for. Because the moment you wake up, your brain is highly receptive, your mind is open, your body is shifting from sleep to wakefulness, and what you do in those first 5 to 10 minutes can shape the entire direction of your day. Most people wake up and immediately grab their phone. They check texts, social media, emails, the news. They're instantly pulled into the external world, dragged into someone else's narrative before they've even connected with their own. And if you begin your day in reaction, don't be surprised if the whole day keeps you reacting, chasing distractions, feeling anxious, and wondering why you feel ungrounded by noon. But what if you took a different path? What if, instead of diving straight into the noise, you began your day with stillness, with a pause, with presence? I'm talking about a few intentional minutes, sitting up in your bed or standing in front of the mirror, taking a deep breath, and simply being with yourself. No scrolling, no rushing, just you and your breath. That small habit, practiced daily for just 21 days, has the power to reset your internal state entirely. Because what you're doing isn't just about mindfulness. It's about reclaiming ownership of your day from the very beginning. It's about saying, before the world gets my attention, I'm going to give it to myself first. This morning's stillness is where clarity begins. You start to hear your own thoughts. You feel your body. You remember your goals, your values. You become intentional about the day ahead rather than just stumbling into it. And from that place, you choose how to show up. That's powerful. It's not about sitting for an hour cross-legged. I'm not telling you to become a monk. I'm saying take 2 or 3 minutes of silence. Close your eyes, breathe in deeply, and ask yourself one simple question: what kind of energy do I want to bring to today? That's it. That question alone can change the way you interact with everything that follows. Maybe you want to bring calm or strength or presence or focus. Whatever it is, name it, anchor it. That's your intention. That intention becomes a compass, and throughout your day, when stress or distraction starts to pull you off course, you return to it. You remember who you said you wanted to be. And the more you practice this, the stronger your self-command becomes. You're no longer passively experiencing your day. You're actively creating it. That's the shift. What you're training here is not just calmness, it's direction. It's leadership over your own mind. And in a world that's constantly trying to pull your focus in 1,000 directions, that kind of control is rare. It's a small habit, yes. But that's where the magic lies, in small, consistent acts that rewire the way we move through life. Give yourself those few minutes each morning. Be still, breathe, set your course. Then go out and lead your day like it matters, because it does. There's something deceptively powerful about making your bed in the morning. It seems so simple, almost trivial. Just pull the sheets tight, straighten the pillows, maybe smooth the blanket. But this act, this one small gesture, is about so much more than tidiness. It's about momentum. It's about self-respect. It's about starting your day with a win. Because when you wake up and take immediate responsibility for your environment, you're sending a message, not just to the world, but to yourself. That message is, I care, I follow through. I finish what I start. That mindset, built from a 2-minute action, begins to ripple outward. It bleeds into everything else. You're more likely to be focused when you work, more likely to show up with energy and discipline when you train, more likely to complete your tasks rather than leave them half finished. Why? Because you started your day by honoring a commitment, and that builds identity. You didn't wait for motivation or let comfort talk you into skipping it. You acted, you executed. That's how discipline is built, not through giant leaps, but through repeated follow-throughs on the little things. And here's the key. This isn't about being perfect. This is about progress. It's about creating an internal standard that says, even if the rest of the day falls apart, I already chose victory the moment I got up. That psychological anchor is everything. It gives you traction. It gives you control. You may not control the traffic, your inbox, the unpredictable things life throws at you, but you do control how you show up for the first task of your day. So make it count. When you walk into a room with a bed that's already made, something feels aligned. It's a quiet signal that says, The space is respected. And when you respect your space, you start to respect your time, your mind, your decisions. One habit opens the door to others. You become the kind of person who does what needs to be done, even when it's small, even when it's boring, even when no one's watching. And over 21 days, this compounds. It's not just about forming a neat little morning routine. It's about rewiring your brain to associate action with identity. You go from, I'll do it later, to, I do it now. You go from, this doesn't matter, to every little thing matters. And it's not that making your bed changes the world. It's that it begins to change you. It shows you that greatness starts with consistency. That momentum is built in silence and simplicity, in structure. So don't overlook the power of this habit. Try it not once, not twice, but for 21 days straight. Wake up, stand up, and make your bed, not for anyone else. Not because it looks nice, but because it reminds you who you're becoming. Because in that moment, you're choosing to lead, not just your room, but your life. Every single day, we're given a chance to prove something to ourselves, not to the world, not to our friends, but to that voice inside our own mind, the one that's always listening. And one of the most powerful ways to rewire that voice is through a daily promise. I'm not talking about grand commitments or overhauling your entire life in one shot. I'm talking about one small promise made in the morning and kept by night. One act of consistency that reflects the future you want to live in, that future version of yourself, the one with strength, clarity, discipline. That version is built one small daily promise at a time. It could be 10 push-ups. It could be 10 pages of a book. It'd be drinking only water today or not opening social media until noon. The promise doesn't have to be big. It just has to be true. It has to mean something to you. And when you follow through, you create a powerful feedback loop. Your brain starts to register. When I say something, I mean it. That's how self-trust is born. That's how self-respect is rebuilt. Because most people's confidence isn't broken because they failed. They're broken because they stopped trusting themselves. We've all done it. We've told ourselves we'll start tomorrow, and then we didn't. We've made goals and abandoned them 2 days later. And over time, your nervous system starts to believe that your words don't carry weight. But the reverse is also true. When you make a promise, even a small one, and you follow through, your identity begins to shift. You go from, I hope I can, to, I always do. That shift alone can change your entire life. And here's the beauty of it, these daily promises compound. At first, it might seem like nothing. You check a small box. You keep a small vow. But over 21 days, that adds up. You're not just seeing physical progress or checked tasks. You're developing internal certainty. You're developing a deep belief that says, I'm the kind of person who keeps showing up. And when life gets chaotic or uncertain, that belief is your anchor. That belief is what keeps you calm under pressure and focused in the storm. The world tries to measure success in outcomes, but transformation is measured in follow-through. Real change begins when you no longer need outside motivation, when the act itself becomes part of your identity. That's what this habit builds. You don't need to do it perfectly, but you do need to do it daily. Choose something small, something simple, and do it with intensity and honesty. Track it, reflect on it, protect it, because that one habit is the proof you're growing into someone who can handle more. So if you want to feel momentum in your life, stop chasing the big explosion. Focus on the spark. Light the fire with one daily promise and then keep it. That's how you change the story. That's how you shift the direction of your life. One day, one promise, one victory at a time. There's something almost sacred about carving out 1 hour of your day to go all in on one thing, just one. Not 10 tabs open, not bouncing from task to task, not checking your phone every few minutes. One focus, one priority, one mission. We live in a world that rewards multitasking, but what it really produces is scattered energy, half-finished thoughts, and diluted progress. If you really want to change your life, you've got to reclaim your focus. You've got to train your brain to stay with the task, to enter the zone, and to follow something through with full attention. That one focus hour does. It teaches you how to lead your mind, not follow every impulse. This 1 hour becomes a training ground, not just for productivity, but for identity. Because when you dedicate 60 minutes daily to your highest priority, you're not just getting things done. You're telling yourself, this matter, my goals are worth showing up for. And the incredible thing is you don't even need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Choose your one thing. Maybe it's writing, maybe it's studying, maybe it's building your business, working on your craft, learning a new skill, or planning your future. Whatever it is, treat that hour like it's non-negotiable, because it is. Now I know what you might be thinking. I'm too busy. But let's be honest, modulating, we all have an hour. If we track time we spend scrolling, reacting, consuming, there's more than enough time hiding in our day. The problem isn't time, it's intention. And once you decide to protect that hour like it's the most important meeting of your day, you'll be shocked at what you can build in 21 days. Not just external progress, but internal strength, that sense of forward movement, that daily proof that you're moving towards something is one of the most powerful forms of motivation on earth. And here's where it gets real. This focused hour rewires how you operate in the rest of your life. Because when you practice going deep in one area, you start to bring that depth to everything else. You become more present in conversations. You start finishing what you start. You reduce the noise, and suddenly your clarity increases. Your confidence increases. You stop feeling like a passenger in your day and start becoming the driver. This habit is simple, but it isn't always easy. Distractions will knock. Excuses will whisper. But every time you sit down and honor that hour, you're casting a vote for the future version of yourself you're trying to become. That hour becomes sacred time, not because of what you achieve in it, but because of who you're becoming through it. So don't underestimate it. Don't skip it. Don't talk yourself out of it. Pick your hour. Lock it in, show up with full attention, and do that every day for 21 days. Watch how much more capable, focused, and powerful you become. Because when you master that 1 hour, you begin to master your life. At the end of each day, there's a window, a short but powerful window, where most people either numb themselves or ignore themselves. They scroll until they fall asleep, binge on content, or collapse into bed carrying the full weight of an unprocessed day. But the truth is, if you want to grow, if you want to evolve into something greater, then the end of your day can't just be about shutdown. It has to become about review, about integration, about mental clarity. You have to give yourself the space to sit with your day, even just for 5 or 10 minutes, and reflect on how you showed up. This isn't modulating. This isn't about judgment. It's not about beating yourself up for what didn't go right. It's about becoming conscious. Because when you bring awareness to your actions, you unlock the power to change them. Modulating, most people are repeating the same day over and over again, not because they don't want to improve, but because they're not taking time to AC what actually happened. They're not looking back and asking, what did I do well today? Where did I slip? What could I do differently tomorrow? Honest, calm reflection. That's how you extract wisdom from your own life. Think about it like this thing. Your mind collects data all day long. Emotions, choices, conversations, wins, mistakes. And if you don't pause to sort through that data, it turns into mental clutter. You carry it with you. You lose clarity. You make the same reactive decisions the next day. But when you stop, breathe, and process your day, you create space. You clear the fog. You take lessons with you and you let go of what no longer serves you. And here's the beauty. You don't need an hour. You don't need a journal filled with paragraphs. You just need stillness, honesty, and 5 quiet minutes. You can do it before bed, after dinner, sitting alone in the dark, or on a quick walk. All you're doing is facing yourself, not with shame, but with curiosity. You're learning to lead yourself moment by moment with presence and power. Because reflection turns your day into feedback. And feedback, if you listen, becomes fuel. Over time, this habit gives you something most people are missing: awareness. You start to notice your patterns. You see where you're growing. You catch the moments you reacted instead of responding. And even more important, you begin to forgive yourself quicker. You stop carrying the weight of old choices into the next day. That creates peace. That creates freedom. That's what allows you to show up lighter, sharper, and stronger each morning. And if you do this for 21 days, consistently, you'll begin to notice the shift. You'll move through life with more intention. You'll feel less overwhelmed because you're no longer just surviving your days. You're learning from them. And when you can learn from every day, even the hard ones, nothing is wasted. Grow, you adapt, you sharpen. So give yourself those few minutes. Look back with courage, look forward with clarity, and let each day build the next. Movement is one of the most underrated tools we have to change, not just our body, but our mind, our mood, and our mindset. When people think of physical activity, they often reduce it to fitness goals, calories burned, or body aesthetics. But I'm not talking about a 2-hour gym session or some perfect workout plan. I'm talking about the simple, intentional act of moving your body every single day, even if it's just for 20 minutes, a walk, some stretching, light training, anything that gets you breathing, moving, and present in your own skin. Because here's the truth, your body and your mind are not separate. The state of one directly impacts the other. When you move your body, you shift your state, you change your chemistry, you unlock energy, you release the tension that stress stores in your muscles. You gain momentum. That's why on the days you feel tired or anxious or foggy, one of the most powerful things you can do is get up and move, not to escape, but to reconnect. There's something primal and empowering about it. Movement takes you out of overthinking and into presence. It gives your nervous system a break from the constant stimulation of screens and thoughts and pressure. And you don't need to be perfect or push your limits every time. What matters is that you show up consistently. You honor your body not by punishing it, but by using it. By saying, I'm alive and I'm in charge of how I feel. Over 21 days, this habit starts to rewire your brain. You begin to crave the feeling of clarity and strength that comes after movement. You start to look forward to that reset button built into your day. It's not about burning out or doing it for anyone else. It's about reclaiming your own energy, about building the kind of mental resilience that says, even if nothing else goes right today, I moved. I fought for myself. I didn't stay stuck. And here's the deeper truthing movement teaches discipline. It teaches discomfort tolerance. It reminds you that growth often begins the moment you want to stop. And when you learn to breathe through that discomfort, to push when it's easier to sit, that translates into every other area of your life. Suddenly, you're more focused when you work. You're more grounded when life throws chows your way. You're not just reacting, you're choosing. The key is to treat this habit as a form of self-respect, not punishment. Move because you love your future self enough to stay strong. Move because your mind is sharper when your body is active. Move because every step, every stretch, every rep is casting a vote for the life you want to build. And once you feel that shift, once you experience how different your day feels when you start it or end it with movement, it becomes less of a task and more of a gift. So commit to it. 20 minutes a day. No excuses, no perfection, just movement. Because when your body moves, your life moves. And when your life moves, everything begins to change.